Hi, Professor Brandt. My name is Kendra Witherspoon, and this is my first video project, I think, ever in my whole time at FITM. This is my last quarter, so let's see how this goes. I'm a little bit nervous, so please bear with me. But I am going to talk about Unit 1 and 2 that we just went over the past week or so. The first thing I wanted to talk about was Unit 1. It covers individual conduct, how you define your ethics, your own ethical viewpoints, and how we can resolve certain ethical dilemmas. This is very important to me because I feel like I work in an industry where people are unethical and they put themselves ahead of others. Unit 2 focuses more on the morals of companies and businesses. Also, they talk about how money can increase a level of pressure, which I could not agree with more, especially living in LA. But yeah, so those are just a couple of overviews about the two units, just really quick. So now I'm going to jump in to talk about the questions that we are supposed to go over for the reading units below. So I'm going to start with number 2.1. So this is pretty interesting because I feel like at work, right now I work at Milk Studios, which is in Hollywood, and it's a production company, so we get a lot of really big talent. We have a lot of very interesting people who come in, and everybody seems to be a little bit more arrogant than the next, which is totally fine. I really support everybody being very outgoing and being 100% themselves, but I feel as if my job is very demanding. This is for question number 1. My job is very demanding, and an issue that I have seen is that my managers are very catty towards one another and towards the clients, especially behind their backs. Like, they like to make fun of each other, and they like to make fun of interns and other people who work at our company, which is weird because ultimately we're all a team, and so I think it's very disappointing to see that. I think the morality behind it is it doesn't hurt anyone, and everybody else is doing it, so they shouldn't feel bad. I think that this is most similar to the 1 minute manager do ethics thing, like how does it make me feel? And I think that all of the questions that I'm going to be answering, the next 2 of them, also relate to that as well. One thing that I have done in the past year, this is for question number 2, I lie a lot when I'm sleeping. So if my friends are like, hey, let's hang out, and I'll say, oh, sorry, I didn't see your message, I was sleeping. Really, that's something terrible. I should just be honest with everybody. And I think it makes my friends question how they feel about how I am treating them. It's definitely nothing personal, but sometimes you just need your own space. You need a break from everybody else, especially at a job like mine when I'm constantly interacting with others. It takes a lot of energy out of me. And so the third question is generally, I would like to say that I'm a very honest person, and I believe that my ethics are the same whether I'm at work or whether I'm on the street. I'm from Portland, Oregon, and so I feel like that's a place where people can be a little bit more honest with each other, with one another, and I definitely feel like my family has raised me to believe the same thing no matter what circumstances I am. And I think the only difference is that sometimes at work I may have a little bit of a problem speaking up, and I think that is something, because it's one thing if you believe in something, but it's another thing if you act on it, so it's definitely something that I could improve on. So now for 2.2, I believe that Dr. Drucker said that your morals from business or from your personal life cannot be separated. For number 2, the way that he tests for ethics is by seeing who yields to temptation. One of his examples was call girls, and how you look in the mirror and you're shaving and you say, "Am I a pimp?" And I thought that was very silly analogy. However, I understand definitely there's a lot of temptation everywhere, and so if you are able to control yourself, then that is very important. That shows that you are an ethical person because you are taking a second to step away from the situation and really analyze everything that's going on. For 2.3, I do not agree with his premise. I mean, I don't think that you have to be vicious, that you have to be cutthroat, that you have to be on all the time. I think that in order to be successful, you just have to be yourself. People really enjoy honesty, and if you are unapologetically yourself, then you're a more moral person because you're not trying to front for others. For question number 2, everybody ultimately lies. I mean, that's definitely right, and I think that a lie is a lie no matter what. So originally I said no. However, I feel like everybody is on the same level of unethicalness because we are all lying. The third question is, I believe that it sounds like if you run the company with great morality, or it shows that you have good business standards. So it's like how you present yourself, how you make decisions, then customers will flock or be extremely loyal to your company. I think this phrasing sounds a little bit bizarre because it makes it seem like you are unethical. If you make mistakes, it doesn't really matter because you have those loyal customers who will back you up, which is different. But the company that I chose, I hope this is okay because I also did my first paper on it. If not, I would be more than happy to redo it, but I'm just going to get through this right now. The company that I chose is Condé Nast because that is my ultimate dream company to work at. I'm actually moving to New York in October, and so hopefully I will be able to get a job with them. I feel like they're a very ethical company. So we can go over the background really quick. The name of the company is Condé Nast Group, and Condé Montrose Nast originally started this as an American publication in 1892. So he transformed it into a 24-page weekly, into a monthly magazine, which is ultimately how magazines became to be for this company, because they have a lot of subsidiaries. They have GQ, they have Good Housekeeping, they have Vogue, and those are just a couple. So then Vanity Fair was launched in 1913, and then Home and Gardens also magazine. So then in 1959, the company was purchased by Samuel Newhouse, and he was a newspaper proprietor. Him and his son, his son is still the chairman of Condé Nast International, which is the companies who do all of the international magazines. Ultimately, they seem to really appreciate their employees. They appreciate the quality of products that they put out. They're seeking new ideas. They are trailblazing. They're always looking for challenges, new challenges, and they pride themselves in being a company who doesn't discriminate based on race, age, gender, things like that, which I am like a triple minority, so I would like to think that that is something that a company that I would like to work for. They really value honesty, integrity, and humanity. And ultimately, for the last question, I think that after going through this course, I can see already that I know the way that I am morally, where I stand morally, and I think this is very important because I want to be the CEO of Condé Nast, so you need to have good morals. You need to be able to make good decisions and think about others and not just about yourself. Anyways, thank you so much for your time. Have a great